Hi everyone, Morten Alstad here with another video. In this video I am going to be tackling a vinyl community challenge. It's Cam from Cam's Vinyl Narrative who has challenged us to show some records from the bright side of the record collection. He is celebrating 1 year in the vinyl community and he talks about all the positives and how happy and great a time he has had making videos for us for the past year. So he then thought that one challenge should be bright, and what is more bright than yellow album covers or album covers with a yellow sort of color palette. And he wants us to show 5 records with a yellow jacket or otherwise somehow related to the color yellow, and talk a little bit about them. And I've been going back and forth to a place outside Oslo for the past few weeks. I think I was in Denmark when this dropped, so I'm now trying to sort of catch up as far as this went, and I grabbed a few records. Now, it will sort of be 6 records here, because I'm going to sort of exclude one, because I haven't made a video about this record yet. I got it a couple of weeks ago. I haven't even had time to listen to it yet, although I am perfectly aware of what the music is like. But I wanted to include something Scandinavian, and I sort of couldn't. And then I remembered, but what about that record I just got? And it's the Wannadies with Be a Girl. And just quickly, very fine pop album by the Swedish band from... Oh, where are they from again? Skellefteå? Anyway, this was their 3rd album, and their first couple of albums didn't really make much impact anywhere, and this one I think only got to 30 something in the Swedish charts. Not sure how it fared afterwards, or it was just a constant seller, because of course of the song You and Me song, which was in a Baz Luhrmann film about a couple of teenage lovers, maybe Romeo plus Juliet. So but as you can see, the color kind of fits. The next album is an album I've shown before. I have tried to sort of talk a little bit about this band. I even learned how to say the introduction in French. Je ne parle pas français. Je suis un Norvégien ridicule, but it's a Mano Negra with King of Bongo. Mano Negra, which is, you know, the Franco-Spanishy, punkish, ska-ish revolutionaries. It's like No Doubt, or what is that other band around the time of No Doubt where the singer died? Sublime meets Clash meets Rage Against the Machine, because of the politics and the revolutionary tendencies, and there's languages and everything. And the reason I am not holding up the record is probably because there's some algorithm who'll freak out because. But pretty yellow cover, I would say. They unfortunately broke up, I guess sort of because the feeling was that the main guy, Manu Chao, maybe took over a little bit too much, or when they were sort of really starting to make I mean, I found out about them, and I live in Scandinavia, and still did that even back then, of course. But yeah, they were a fun band, and they brighten my day every time I listen to them. So I think both the color and how that record makes me feel fits to this video. And now we travel all the way down to Australia No, not New Zealand. I'm not going to show a Split Ends record in this video, although I have one which is yellow, but you know, I think that record comes in like 16 different color variants, so no. I want to show this one, Leonardo's Bride. Unfortunately, they only made 2 records, the follow-up Open Sesame, and then they broke up. But what is special about this band for me is that it was introduced to me by Rebecca in Australia, who was my, well, let's call her my one and only girlfriend or last girlfriend or whatever. All the way back then, must have been 98, 99. And this music really, it's a lovely band, and you know, the singer, she's gorgeous and still is, by the way. And it was the big hit there down there in Australia, even when I'm sleeping. I mean, they're a sunny band, but you know, there's just that enough melancholy to make it, you know, touch your heart and last forever, because this record, of course, turns 30 next year. Yeah, and I saw them at the Domain, which is the park behind, was it Mrs. Macquarie's chair, you know, around the governor's building in Sydney for the Sydney 2000 Olympics free concerts that were there. Rebecca took me there to see, because Neil Finn was playing there. He had, of course, very recently broken up Crowded House. But these guys were warming up for him, and as they started playing and it was sort of dusk, these huge bats flew over the crowds, and I actually wrote them about that, you know, being, because Rebecca broke up with me just a couple of days later, or she had already done it, I don't remember now. And I wrote to them and told them, you know, wrote a little bit of poetic there about the bats and winged creatures and feathers, because she performed with huge feathers on her body, and they wrote me back and said that it was, yeah, very nice that I'd written to them. So yeah, this record always makes me sort of a little verklempt. Next up is an album that is yellow in color, sort of, and I feel that brought a band back from the brink, because Suede, of course, broke through with their debut album and things were looking really great. And then during the recording of their second album, which people now feel is like a Stone Cold classic, you know, oh God, what is his name? Bernard Butler. He left the band, and people did not respond well to their second album. And then we got this one, and it is, and I mean, I love the second album now, but I remember I had sort of given up on them because I thought that. But then I heard that single, a couple of the singles from here, and you know, went out and bought the CD back then. I only had this for about a year now, and on vinyl. But wonderful coming up by Suede. In whatever sense Suede is able to have a sunny disposition, it's on this album. I mean, they're still Suede, but obviously, you know, it's not all sunshines and lollipops, but I guess if you're gonna have a bright Suede album, it's gonna be this one. The next album I grabbed to show how the vinyl community reaches out to us, and you know that I sometimes make videos that I call the reach of the vinyl community about discoveries and albums that you end up buying because you're influenced by members of said community. And one who has influenced me a lot is Ben Rankins down there in previously mentioned Australia. And I'm sure one of you will have shown a record by this band, but maybe not this one. So I didn't go for the obvious one. I went for another one with a yellow cover, or yellow jacket, as you say in the UK. So this is the Voodoo Gurus with their 4th album. Now, Voodoo Gurus, I don't think I knew anything about them at all. I'm pretty sure I hadn't heard them. Ben talked about a couple of bands like the Triffids, and I went out and got that, and he talked about bands that I already knew and already love. We have a shared affinity for Midnight Oil, the mighty Oils, you know, with some wordage there in their lyrics that is, you know, important. Bruno just spoke about in one of his videos about, you know, this yellow disposition, about Rage Against the Machine, and not being scared of talking about politics in the vinyl community videos. And was it Fidelia who did this as well? Those of you in the VC who are you know, or of the punk disposition, I suppose, are maybe better at that than some of us others. But suddenly I was talking about Midnight Oil, and Ben has really. I have a shopping list of stuff I want to get from Australia because of him, and the thing is that a lot of it is only available down there, and you know, with shipping and paying customs charges here in Norway and all that stuff, it gets expensive. But these I've been lucky to find at a second-hand record store here in Oslo. So you know, now I have 4 Voodoo Gurus, and who can I not blame? Come on. No, but it's all because of the vinyl community. And finally, this album I bought on what I sort of keep saying was my last trip to Denmark, because as you guys know, I went down there in May and I signed the papers and sold my childhood home. And I'm having a tough time of it, but one thing that always cheers me up, be it you guys in the vinyl community and your nice comments and everything, is of course buying records. So my plan was to go all the way down to south of Denmark and visit the Jellingstenene, which is like the birth certificate of Denmark. And I think the first place the word Norway is mentioned is on one of those stones down there. But it would have eaten up a lot of hours, and I couldn't get up early enough. But I did get on the train and go to Aalborg and visited the wonderful Licorice Pizza record store, which had moved a couple of buildings further down the street from where I was when I visited them last. And I grabbed a bunch of records. And one that I grabbed is this wonderful album. Muse's Origin of Symmetry was their second album. I had already bought their first CD back then, and I remember people were, they're Radiohead copycats or whatever. But and they had some initial success, you know, with that first album, and then they recorded this one. And their US label, Maverick, told them, no, you have to tone down all that piano stuff, and you have to there have to be more lyrics in the songs. There are too many instrumental parts, and it's too experimental and weird. So re-record this and make it more like we are asking. And they said, nope, we're not going to do that. And they said, well, you are, because if not, we're not going to release your album in the United States of America, and we're going to drop you. And they said, no, we're not going to do that. This is the album we recorded. And they said, well, goodbye. So Maverick dropped them. And the album was a huge success in the United Kingdom, and Americans had to buy import copies. And then they got a new record deal in the States with their third album for some odd reason. This is Muse at their most uncompromising, not yet quite as, let's say, conspiracy theory heavy as they might be later on. I love Muse, but sometimes it gets a little bit wacky doodle with some of their lyrics, and I know what they want, and I know where they want us. They want us to think, but I mean, I wouldn't normally get my political I wouldn't normally get my political guidance from, let's say, Megadeth. But they got a new album coming out now, and I already ordered it, and now I started buying their stuff on vinyl as well, which is probably not what you should be doing, but there you go. The wonderful Origin of Symmetry by Muse, an album I truly enjoyed listening to again on vinyl as well. So guys, if you're not already subscribed to Cam's channel, please do go head over there. If you're in the vinyl community and you are not already aware of this challenge, maybe you've been on holiday, but please try and maybe do that for Cam. I love his videos and his positive vibe, and that's all I can say about that, really, guys. Other than that, if you want to click like, that makes me happy. If you want to subscribe, well, that makes me also happy, but even happier maybe than that. I love comments. So I hope you guys are having a wonderful summer or fall, winter down there across the equator thing. And I hope to see you guys soon in another video. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.